Oh my gosh. Do I see a fluffer butt? Oh, look at the new baby.
Shake away the weight. Cut what makes you tethered. Trust when you fall in every risk you take. Knowing redemption's always on its way. Let all the courage in you start to wake. Unafraid.
Good morning. What day is it?
It's chick hatching day.
Let's see what we got.
I'm seriously so excited. I feel like I'm a kid on Christmas. I was sitting there watching the eggs last night, ready for them to hatch, even though it was only day 20. Day 21 starts tonight at 8, and that's when chicks typically hatch. So let's see what we have. Yesterday we did have what's called a pipped egg, which is essentially just one little crack in the egg, and that's how the chick gets started. But I do hear some chirping, so let's hope we have a chick. Oh my gosh. Do I see a fluffer butt? Oh, look at the new baby. Oh my gosh, is it dead?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, he's just sleeping.
Hello. Oh, hello. Hello, pretty girl. All right, let's look for other pipped eggs. Kind of need a flashlight. That one's pipped. See that crack on there? That's considered to be pipping. So the chick will hatch 12 to 24 hours after pipping an egg like that. Chicks need a pretty high humidity to hatch, so this specific incubator says we should be ideally around 66 to 75%. Depending on what incubator you have, it's going to have different instructions on how to get the humidity up. So for us, for the first 18 days, we had one port that we filled up with water, and then the last 3 days, we filled up an additional port of water. The last 3 days, when a chick hatches, are considered to be locked down, so at that point in time, they do not want you to ever open up the chick just fell on its head. They don't ever want you to open the lid of this because it's going to cause the humidity to drop really quickly. One thing I didn't know about chicks is that they like to roll to hatch. So if your incubator has any sort of rolling mechanism in them to help roll the eggs and turn them as they're, incubating, you're going to want to remove this so that they can roll as they need to hatch. Obviously, we didn't get to see this pretty little cutie hatch, so hopefully I'll get to see another one hatch during the day, and hopefully we get it on camera. So Moran, right now we have it's like 6 total.
Just tally them.
Well, we have to know what the starting is, so 6 total. Note to self, write down all the different breeds of eggs you're hatching before you let them hatch or before they turn over, because now we can't read our little markings that we have on them with pencil. But luckily I did take a video of them before with all of the markings on them, so I'm going to reference that to see the total number of each breed. So you can see we have 3 silver ruds, olive eggers are on the exterior, so we had 6 of those, and then we had 6 Morans.
Unafraid, I'm unafraid. Every second I'm raising up higher. Unafraid, I'm unafraid. Don't count the mistakes, look for better measures. Keep hope in your gaze, hold truth as a treasure. Trust when you fall in every risk you take. Knowing redemption's always on its way. Let all the courage in you start to wake. Unafraid. I'm unafraid. Every second I'm raising up higher. Unafraid. I'm unafraid. Every second I'm raising up higher. Unafraid.
Oh my gosh. Oh, he almost walked on his head. Wow. Look at the little baby. Look at the baby. Okay, don't walk on his head.
Fluffy one. Hello, Fluffy one. You guys going to sleep together?
Wow. And they're asleep.
And they'll be awake in 2 seconds. Ready? 1.
And they're up.
And they knocked the one guy on his back.
Oh, and he's on his back in there. Oh my God. It's hatching day 2 and things are starting to get a little bit more crowded here in the incubator. There are 2 eggs hatching pretty much as I speak right now, and we had 1 or 2 hatch overnight. So I think we have 7 birds in here now, 2 more on the way, and then at least 1 more egg has a pip in the shell, so it's on the way as well. We're gonna have at least 10 birds, and then we have 5 more eggs that we're still kind of undetermined. So we gotta take a closer look at those right now, but it's getting crowded in here. Right after they hatch, it seems like they're just lethargic and they just can't stand for a while. But it doesn't take long for them to get up and dried off and turn into a little cheaper. After the chick breaks through in one spot, amazingly, it knows to peck an equator around its egg so that it weakens the shell and it can use its legs to open it like a clamshell. Come on, little guy. You can do it.
Use your strength. We believe in you. You got this. 1, 2, 3, push.
Oh yeah, you got it. Come on. Just gotta take a break for a while.
Here he comes.
Oh,
Look
there's
at
a
the
leg.
claw.
There's a leg.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I can't believe that they can fit in there like
He's
that.
just curled up as can be. Push, 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 push.
I know, there's a lot of action. It's hard. Little white one. Little white chickie. You're in his way.
There he goes. One more burst. One more burst and he should be free.
I don't know, that chick is he's kind of cornered with the eggs and stuff. Over here. Oh gosh, don't walk on top of the baby. Come here. Get off of him.
Oh, and there he goes. He's officially out.
Nice.
All right, so the last 48 hours have been quite a whirlwind, and we've got almost none of it on camera. So give us the quick recap, Elaina.
Okay, quick recap. We had a total of 13 of the 15 chicks hatch. The 2 that didn't hatch, we had 1 that had pipped and the other, there was no signs of any pipping. But the one that had pipped, we could tell that there was no action. It basically had been pipped for over 24 hours with its beak sticking out, but nothing happening. What we realized was that the last 2 that hatched had some sort of injury or something that was going on with them because neither of them could walk. So one seemed to be a runt. It was extremely small and it wasn't able to get off of its back. So while it was in the incubator with all the other chicks, they were all picking on it. At that point in time, we decided to move all of the other chicks into the brooder that we had set up. The other injured chick was clearly couldn't walk. At the time, we didn't know exactly what was wrong, but it looked like something was wrong with one of its legs. So we left those 2 in the incubator overnight. The next morning, checked on them. The one with the leg injury definitely had something wrong with it. There was either a tendon or a bone that was exposed, and we could see that. So we ultimately decided to take that one to the vet. The other one is just a runt. It's really small and it just kind of scoots around on its butt. It can't really hold its weight right now. So we're not sure what happened with that chick, but we have them still separate and that requires hand feeding and watering.
Every 2 to 3 hours for a full week, we went down and hand cared for these birds. They'd only eat if we pecked at the food with our finger and we had to give them water with a syringe. We don't have kids yet, but it honestly feels like what it would be like. Here's our little scooter setup for the birds. It's essentially a walker for a baby chick made out of an old Royal Farms cup cut in half and a piece of bamboo cloth sort of nested in there. So they have a little sling holding them up. Oh, we got a sleepy bird. Here's our little runt.
Manually giving them food and water requires that we feed them every 2 or so hours. So we took shifts last night to get that done. The darker one seems to do pretty well and is very interested in both food and water. Right now, the gray one only seems to be interested in water. This could be partially because it still has some energy from the yolk, which chicks have for the first 3 days. And so maybe it's just not hungry since it was the very last one that hatched. It's also smaller, so maybe it doesn't need as much food, but we're gonna keep working on it and really, really hope that we can get both of these to pull through. In other news, our other chickies are doing great. Come here, girlies. Yummy, yummy, yummy. They're eating and drinking as normal, and right now they all want a nap. We just cleaned the brooder. I'll be doing a full video on our brooder setup so that you can see exactly what we have in here and how we set it up. Can we show them you how pretty you are? Say hi, I'm a fluffy one. We're only on about day 2 for most of these, and they already have some feathers coming in. I don't know if you can see that. My cute little baby. Oh, you're so fluffy.
This is our little gray patient. We don't have a name for him yet, but we have his legs tied together with basically a piece of, like a small Band-Aid. This was something that we found online to treat a condition called like splay leg, where their legs like go out to the sides and they can't stand up. They need to hold them in a little bit more. So what you can do is sort of splint them together with something like a Band-Aid. We just have actually 3 tiny Band-Aids, a cuff around each ankle and then one linking them in the middle. This will hopefully, as he's in his little walker here, train his feet to be in the right position and eventually support his weight so he can actually walk. This little Band-Aid anklet also prevents him from yanking his legs up and out of the saddle that he's in, which he definitely tries to escape frequently when he's in the incubator. So the cuffs help him keep him settled there. He's such a silly little chicken.
Time for physical therapy.
This is our little physical therapy hospital for chicks.
Did you know that you'd be doing this?
Did not picture this part of chicken raising when we hatched all those eggs. But how could you just let this little guy go? I mean, look at him.
Gotta give him a fair shot.
He's asleep now.
Oh, he's so small. Yes.
Sleepy chicken. Who's a sleepy chicken?
Are you gonna clip it on the back side?
Yeah.
Oh, he's shaking. Oh, he's just so tired. You put up so much energy. There you go. Yummy. Oh, you dropped it. Oh, but you got your eyes closed. You're like hungry, but you're sleepy too. There you go. Quick last update for our chick hatching video. So the gray chick unfortunately did not make it. It seemed to be doing a lot better. We moved it into the brooder with the other chicks, but ultimately it didn't survive, and we're not sure exactly what happened. It was doing well in the morning when we woke up. We checked 2 hours later and we had lost her. So we are still working on our other patient. We have to teach this little chickie how to walk again. Its wound seems to be healing really nicely, so hopefully we can get it to walk like a normal chicken, because that's definitely going to be critical to its survival.
All right, update on our little peeper. What are we, about a week past taking the bandage off? As you can see, the stitches are still a little bit visible, but we're starting to kind of scab over here. So it's looking a lot better, and obviously, little peeper is on her feet. I think she's gonna be a hen too, which is gonna be great that we didn't use all that effort on keeping a rooster alive, which we might not have been able to keep later. But yeah, show everyone what you can do, peeper.
Okay, show everyone.
Oh, hello.
Just mention how she doesn't put a ton of weight on it, but...
You can still see she sort of favors the right foot. She doesn't put a lot of weight on the left foot, but yeah, you see how she kind of picks it up. But overall, she can walk, and she's getting along with the other chicks. The other birds aren't really picking on her or anything, that's what we were mostly worried about. You can see that her left little elbow is definitely bigger than the right. Probably always will be. Peeper.
Come here.
The name Peeper came, by the way, when the vet asked me what the name was, and I had 0 name picked out. I had no idea that they were going to ask that, so I just came up with Peeper off the top of my head on the spot, and now she's Peeper. and listen to her peeping.
You can see that Peeper is a bit smaller than the other hens. Even though they're the same age, she's definitely growing slower than the others. I really hope that this little baby continues to grow and thrive. We have a video on our brooder setup coming next, so stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.